Hi everyone. So that was Ni Hao singing from the band Sweet Haya. I'm here with Sylvia. How are you, Sylvia?
Hi everyone. Hi, ni
Hi.
hao.
Hi,
Hi,
thank
Ni
you so
Hao.
much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. We're so happy to be with you today. So, I'm going to say something.
She was gonna break into a song.
Ah,
I love the lip singing situation, Veronique. I think that's how
yeah,
every show should start now.
and yeah, I know the song, so a little bit. So, for the one who don't know you, can you introduce yourself, Ni Hao? Who are you?
Yes, I'm a friend of Veronique's and of
Mm-hmm.
Sylvia's.
Mm-hmm.
We've
Yeah.
actually both worked together at different companies in different times in our careers. My name is Nihala Bolata. It's an Egyptian name. I am born in Egypt, in Cairo. Both my parents are Egyptian. And when I was a year old, my parents moved to France. So then I ended up growing up in France, where we spent about 15 years. And then we came to the US in 2000, and we've been here ever since. My parents are here, and my brother, and I'm now married with an incredible human being named Austin Geiger, who will probably come up a lot in this podcast,
Yeah.
and you'll see why. And yeah, and we have a crazy, fun, adorable, insane teenage pup.
Oh, yeah.
Who's testing our patience every day.
What's your name? Everybody wants to know the name.
Leia, like
Leia.
Princess Leia, and she's
Princess
like a
Leia.
velvet princess. She's so soft.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's the same dog
cute.
as you, Sylvia. It's the same
No,
dog, right? It's a shepherd,
Like
right?
golden retriever? No,
Golden
is it?
retriever, sorry.
you have a
Yeah,
golden retriever?
I do. Yeah,
Oh, I love all dogs, but
I
ours is.
know.
It's funny, and at some point maybe she'll make a little appearance at the show. But everybody thinks she's a yellow lab because we got her at the Fresno Lab Rescue, but she's
hmm
actually a 0% lab. We did the DNA test, and
Oh
Ooh,
wow.
she's
Yeah.
she's German Shepherd, Husky, Terrier, Pit
wow.
Bull, miniature Pinscher, and yeah, like 7 different breeds. And you see her, you're like, no, you're just a lab.
Yeah, she looks like a lab, yeah.
She's
Hmm.
I
not.
didn't know you could do a DNA test for dogs.
Yes, I know. You know what's funny? I still haven't done it for myself, but I've splurged with my
Yeah,
dog. But I
For
needed
your
to do it
baby.
myself then. Yeah, yeah.
right.
So my first question, not about the dog, would be about your band. And you are actually, we want to know, what made you choose the career of being a singer, and how did you come up with your first band, Sweet Aya?
Oh, I love those 2 questions, and they're intertwined, so I'll try to weave them.
Mm-hmm.
So music, I think, has always been part of my life. When I was a little kid, I was 6 years old. I remember listening to my parents' music. They would listen to everything from like classical music all the way to, the disco stuff, the Bee Gees, and then they later on got into Motown. So at home we always had, CDs playing. And I just remember twirling in the living room thinking, I want to play music, and I want to play piano specifically. And I had asked my parents if I could learn the piano, and they were amazing. They got us a piano, which is still in their house to this day. And I started played classically for about 5 years, then had a little, teenage crisis.
hmm
And
Normal.
then, yeah, right. And then you're like, oh, classical isn't cool anymore. And then later in life, I got back to playing piano, but it in a less structured and theoretical way. Because I never connected with the super strict solfeggio, which is like the music theory we had in France. I never connected with that as much, and I was always more of an ear by the ear player, or I would like write melodies, and I didn't know how to actually like annotate things, but I just could remember what I wrote in my head, and so yeah. And then years and years later, I started just composing on the piano. It was kind of cool. Like I started having these dreams where I'd hear music, and
Oh,
I would sit on the piano and try to replicate the sounds that were appearing in my dreams. And it took many years to get to the point where I could actually put into music what my dreams were, kind of like those frequencies they were sending me. And then I started just composing on the piano at home on the keyboard. And, with the MIDI technology, you can hook up your keyboard to your laptop or to your computer and actually produce entire tracks, from software online. And so I started producing little tracks here and there. And then later on, completely randomly, I was playing piano at a friend's art gallery. They had a glass blowing studio. And I was playing piano there. And the owner of the gallery came up to me and said, "Hey, would you like to perform and do like a art and music kind of night here sometime?" And I thought, no, I don't perform for anybody. I'm in my living room, and that's what I do. And he said, "It's okay. There won't be a lot of people. It's like a little wine and art thing." Turned out it was packed.
Ooh.
I did it. It was awesome. And it was packed. And I sang a couple of songs I had written in the past 3 weeks, a couple in French, a couple in English. And the response was really beautiful. I felt a real connection with the audience. I saw like tears, in people's eyes, and it was mostly not because I was terrible, but maybe because they felt something. And it was cool. It was a lot of my friends that had never known that I was even a musician or an artist, because I really kept music to myself for a long time. Were there and got to witness that. And I think in that moment, I started realizing that this is something that I want to do on a larger scale, and entertain and bring joy and spread love and light through messages that I strive to create through my music. And in parallel with that, and I think this is something Sylvia knows about, I used to do capoeira at the time. I did capoeira for about 4 years. I used to try to practice my terrible Portuguese with you, and she was very sweet and would totally go with it. And in capoeira, it's a Brazilian martial art that involves singing and music and dancing, and there's also fighting involved. But look it up, capoeira. It's a really, really cool Brazilian martial arts, and it was introduced by the slaves that were brought from Africa to Brazil from the Portuguese, and they had kind of kept their rituals and their tradition through music and capoeira in Brazil. So it continued to evolve into like a beautiful Afro-Brazilian culture and sport, and a place of I'd say like community through music as well. And there's a lot of chanting, like back and forth chanting with the audience, with the like the fighters and the people clapping around what we call the roda, where you're fighting. So it's not like one person singing, it's like a back and forth. And I think that's also part of where I've drawn some of my singing inspiration from in capoeira, where it's like a call and response, it's connection with the crowd. So, and that's something I really try now to, as a performer, to incorporate in our live performances. So
that's where it's coming from.
Yes, part of it. Yes, for sure. Yeah. And the other part is just, I love people. I'm like,
Well, that song has, reminds me of like some Brazilian, the rhythm, it's similar to Brazilian music as well. It just like, I felt like a connection with that. Because I know like we have, it's, like it felt familiar, the rhythm, the beat. And so, yeah, I see where it's coming from.
Medley.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I think my internet is a little funky. That's why, I don't know, you guys can hear me fine? Yeah?
Yeah, no, we're good.
Yeah,
okay,
perfect.
good.
Yeah.
So, Nihal, when did that happen? Well, how old were you when you had this first experience of like playing for like a little crowd there? When was that?
So that was, I'd say, I think I was 25 maybe, 25 or so. And then shortly after, to answer Veronique's question and piggyback on yours, is when I started doing something called open mics. I don't know if people are familiar with that concept, but it's a really, really cool concept. It's basically you go to a cafe, a restaurant, or something that organizes this open mic thing where musicians and artists and poets and writers of any sort really can go and perform their piece or several pieces and in front of a really supportive audience, and we're all like, you know, getting started at the time. So I got into like the open mic circuit for several years, and that was like, you know, between 25 and 27 or so. And then, or maybe earlier than that. And then I got to meet some incredible musicians through these open mics. One of them was the Cupertino Brittany Arms, and that's where I had gone to perform. I brought my keyboard and I sang a couple of ballads, and then I was watching other people play, and I saw they actually had a couple of bands or like trios that were performing. And I met this incredible trio. Their name is Devin Moreno, Josh Gardner, and Aaron Marquez. And I loved what they were doing, what they were playing, and they liked me. And so at the end of the night, we kind of exchanged information and talked, and we were like, we should jam sometime and all. And then we totally did. What happened is I was offered a show at the Silicon Valley Pride Festival, and I didn't want to do it solo. I wanted to have a band or like people to play with for the first time. So I called these guys that we had I think we had ended up jamming at that open mic too, if I'm not mistaken. I have a terrible memory. I can remember lyrics, but I can't remember stories or dates, or, you know. There's only so much in this database right here.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, so I ended up having a couple of rehearsals with these guys that I had met at the open mic, and we had an amazing show at the Pride Festival, and we ended up realizing that we wanted to put together a band. And that's kind of how Sweet Haya was born. We didn't have a band name at the time yet. We went through like 7 different, you know, versions. Like
we know about that.
Yeah.
The name of the podcast was a nightmare.
Right. Yes, because it becomes your identity, right?
Yeah.
You want something that represents you, and you want something that also carries your mission statement. So it's big commitment, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like your baby, you know, you want to name it something that you're going to forever connect with. So then we never stopped playing with David Moreno. He's still in Sweet Haya. We've been together 12 years now, performing all around the Bay Area, and we've toured a bunch together. Our drummer from back then, Josh Gardner, moved to Georgia, but we got a new incredible drummer. Well, it's been like 6 years now. Kosuke Okamura on drums, and on bass, Aaron Marquez had to retire for health reasons. So actually my husband, Austin, stepped in. He learned bass on our honeymoon. Funny story. And we came back from our honeymoon, and he did a show with us to fill in for our bass player who was not well. And then we also have a trombone player called Ryosuke Sakurai. And so this new configuration's been together maybe like 6 years as the new lineup. But the band's been in existence for 12 years. That band. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Thanks for your question. I love it. Thank you.
And so wanted to know also what Sweet Haya means.
Good question.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
I'm at the gym just advertising. Check out my So
what is the meaning of Sweet Haya?
So I think Véronique, you'll connect with a part of this, and I don't know, Sylvia, if you have a concept like this in Portuguese, but in French we have a concept of the bon vivant, which are those who live well. It's like the good life, right? The sweet life, and it's about enjoying the simple things in life and being able to be present in life for the things that might not be loud and obvious, but that means something, that symbolize something. And so Bon Vivant was taken by another band name, and that was initially the band name I wanted, the Bon Vivant, or something like a play on those words. And then a friend of mine at the time suggested that we maybe incorporate something also from my heritage. My parents, their native language is Arabic, Egyptian Arabic, and I grew up speaking it. And so we started toying with the idea of having, some sort of combination of languages. And I'm a linguist, so I was really into the idea of having a cultural medley, and that's also representative of what we do. And so Haya came about, and Haya, what it means in Arabic, and I think also in Hebrew, is life. So
Hmm.
the sweet life is kind of, a parallel to the good life, to Les Bons Vivants.
Okay.
And yeah, and it wasn't taken.
Yeah, nobody's gonna take that name. That's cute.
I think there's a
Very
sweet
good.
shop somewhere called Haya Sweet or something like
Ah,
that. We should like do a
it's okay.
collaboration.
Yeah.
Ah.
So my other question now is that now you're part of another band
Yes.
called Grace and the Greet.
Yes, I also have it
So
on here.
yeah, cool. So what's going on? Can you tell us about that? Okay, are you still singing with Sweet Aya? Are you
Yes.
singing with both bands? So how
Yes.
did you become part of Grace and the Greet?
Yeah, just to confirm, Sweet Haya still exists. We're
Okay.
still playing.
Mhm.
We have a big
Mhm.
show on December 9th for my birthday and holiday party at the Art Tiki.
Cool.
Because a lot of people are worried, and they've asked me,
Mhm.
now that you've started this other project, what's going on with Sweet Haya? And we're still going strong and booking shows. It's just that this new project I started with my husband, Austin, came from us writing songs as a duo at first. And they're all original songs. And then in that band, Austin plays guitar and not bass like in Sweet Haya. So he was writing a lot of really cool compositions on guitar. And I loved what he was doing. And I would always like sit down and start singing whenever he'd pick up his guitar. And little by little, we started writing. He taught me guitar also, which allowed me to start writing on guitar. And a lot of the songs that I wrote on guitar, I kind of like, I write like the basic melody and rhythm that I have in mind. Then I give him the guitar. I'm like, can you make that better? And then I'll sing my idea on it. And our collaboration was extremely organic. And like, even when we first got together, we never thought we would play music together. We talked about music a lot. And he had a band, Focho, back in the day. That was really cool hip hop funk band. But we talked about music. He came to the Sweet Haya shows. He was a big fan. Kind of how we met. And then we started realizing like we actually make really good music together. And it's not, just it sounds good, but it's like meaningful stuff to both of us as individuals. And we thought we wanted to elevate the project by giving it a name other than Nihal and Austin. And we started also bringing in other musicians. So the first person that joined the band was Ryan Walker on harmonica. And him and Austin and I had a trio for a little while. And we performed as Three for Now and, a bunch of other configurations, Nihal, Austin, and Ryan. And then finally we agreed couple of years back when we finally got an incredible drummer, Matt Condino, and an amazing bass player in this past year, Adam Martinez. We decided to name the band Grace and the Grit. And a lot of people ask me, is your name Grace? Like in Sweet Haya, everybody asks me, is your name Haya?
Yeah, I'm Sweet Haya.
Sometimes I say yes. Or people ask me, are you Grace? And I say, no, I'm the Grit.
Did you choose the name for that band or?
Yes.
Okay, you're the one coming up with the names.
Austin, yeah. Austin and I, we kind of like brainstormed. It was hard. That one was even harder, I think, because we had both been in bands and we realized the importance, of having a really powerful name. That's also not taken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard, huh?
Yes. And that project's been going pretty hard for the past couple of years now. We got to play the Blues Festival this last summer, the local stage. We're hoping, to continue building on our Blues Festival circuit. A lot of our music is blues influenced, especially Austin's guitar playing.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we can talk about the influences for sure, but so I think that's the cool thing about Sweet Haya versus Grace and the Great is that they are really different genres, and they touch, I think, different demographic. And for me, vocally, Grace and the Great is a little bit more of a raw kind of all like bare your whole soul while performing these songs. Whereas with Sweet Haya, it's really fun, upbeat, kind of like a like like super family friendly. Also, both bands. I don't cuss.
Okay.
Sometimes
So
accidentally on stage. I get really excited. But
hide your kids.
we just played a school fest, and I had to censor myself for sure the other day because I
So
love singing for the kids. It's so much
so you
fun.
have an EP coming out tomorrow on Friday? No, in 2 days.
In
On
2
Friday.
days,
Days.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I have a little sample that we can listen to from one of your songs. It's called My Way Out or Way Out?
A Way Out.
A Way Out. I don't know. I
Yeah.
always say My
But
Way Out because
it's
you
like
say My Way Out, I think,
in the
in the song.
lyrics,
That's
yeah.
why.
That means you
Okay.
listened. Thank you.
I was even like listening to you. I was in the car. I'm like, oh, what's that song? Oh, that's Niha's song.
It's getting stuck in your head.
That's in my
Yes,
head. Yeah.
mission accomplished.
Yeah. So, okay, this is A Way Out from
Mm.
Grace and the Great.
Doing my best here to stay grounded down such an overwhelming road. North and south have now collided, and the fuel is getting too low. Though my feet continue moving, I'm stuck here not understanding. So much temptation to stop proving within this passion that will run me dry. I need to find my way out. I need to find my way out. I need to find my way out of this mess I made. Out of this mess I made.
It's cool.
I love that song.
You guys are the first people to hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Literally,
Really?
this,
So cool.
this podcast is the first
Yeah.
time we diffuse the song out into the world.
I love it.
Oh, wow. So cool.
I love that song. I can't wait. So I'm going to go see
Ah.
Nihal Friday night. She has a show where she's going to perform with Grace and the Great. And I can't wait. Date night for me.
Oh yes, I'm so excited that you guys are coming, and I know you're bringing friends too. So thank you.
Yeah.
It's going to be Friday, October 20th, at a really cool place called the Tabert Theater. It
Mhm.
used to be an actual like musical theater and kind of theater. So it's got more of a cabaret vibe, which I like. And you can sit down or you can dance. Like there's choices. And we're going to have another band playing with us called Magic Blues Band. And they're really, really fun band. And they're going to go on first at 8.
Cool.
And then, we'll be
Can't
on
wait.
after that. Can't wait to
Where is
see you
it
there.
gonna be? Where is it?
Yeah, it's called the Tabert Theater,
Oh, the-
Tabard, Tabert Theater in San Pedro Square in
Okay.
downtown San Jose.
San
Yeah.
Jose. Okay.
Yeah,
San Jose,
Yeah.
California. Mm-hmm.
yes. If you guys are around, it would be amazing to see. I know it's
Oh,
hard with the
it would be so
kids, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to escape, like kind of like I'll go by myself.
Escape.
Yeah.
Girls
with the kids.
yes, girls' night.
Girls' night out.
night out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Only
man,
an
out,
hour
yeah.
drive, yeah. If it wasn't like such a long drive.
It is, yes.
Right,
We'll just
yeah.
have to come play your way, Sylvia.
Yeah, come
Mhm.
on, come please, babe. Someday, and then for sure. So, by the way, Nihal, now that you mentioned like you have, so it's like 2 bands that you are managing and working with. Do you still work as a linguist, or are you just like, okay, I'm gonna focus on my bands?
Yes, I do still work as a linguist. It's
Wow,
still my
look at
full-time
you.
job.
Mhm.
See, all this ADD turned out to be really in my favor.
Yeah, right,
I
'cause
was-
that's impressive.
I was always told, you have too much energy. What are you going to do with it? Well, let me tell you what I'm going to do with all this energy. I'm going to start 2 bands
Yeah,
and I'm going to have a
all my
full-time
dream.
job.
Yeah, like there's no way he has another job, but like, yeah.
No, and I have a really good job. I used to do more like language related work, and I do a more program management. So it's pretty eclectic. I get to work in really international teams and constantly learning, you know, it's cool. I think being in tech kind of keeps me grounded and keeps me connected to what's going on in the world. And with our company does artificial intelligence as well, so that's definitely a hot topic right now. So it's it's great to keep learning about that, and also to see the dichotomy with the arts, you know, and how in some ways, you know, AI is catching up with art, right? And
yes, that's
me as
right.
an artist, as an artist, you know, I also, it means certain things, you know, and we have to think about like the ethics also behind a lot of that. And so, yeah, no, it's an interesting place to be, the Silicon Valley at this time, and to be a musician in the Silicon Valley also is quite a challenge, but
the contrast, but it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun, and I think and it's necessary. I think a place like the Silicon Valley, like any tech, you know, heavy place in the world, or like any one industry that it's really heavily involved in, it's important to have a counterbalance, like you're saying, because like, all these people who work so hard, they want to go out, they want to get entertainment, they want to, you know, just take a load off. Life is hard in the Bay, and everybody's hustling and busy. And so that's part of why I love entertaining, because I get to see like the parents chill out and the kids dancing. And like sometimes like I'm kind of feel like I'm the babysitter, because like the show is so entertaining. The kids stay, you know, at the stage, and the parents are like, I'm going to go get a drink. I'll be right back. This is great. It happened at a fundraiser.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I'll do it all day. The other day, I sang, you know, La Vie en Rose by Edith Piaf with the kids. And obviously it's in French. And I made a joke with the kids. I said, all right, guys, you're going to learn French now, and you're going to sing with me. And I had all the kids hang out by the stage, and they were all waiting for me to like hand them the mic, and I go la 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 la, and then they all sang along. It was really fun. It was really fun. So music's important.
You're gonna I'll go for one more. Yeah.
Sure.
Just one more question about talking about kids. So you are married now, very busy, right? Bands, work, husband. When you grow, or you're planning on growing your family and everything and having kids, so how are you going to manage all that? You have like kind of like a plan, or like you know, laid out in your mind, like I'm going to need a nanny, preschool, help from relatives. I don't know if your parents live around here. Do they live in the Bay Area?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's great.
Thankfully, yes. You know, from all my friends and family who are parents, I think when because I asked them that question, I said, like, how do you handle it all? And you say, you reprioritize, you know, like you redefine what your number one priority is, and then you go from there. Like you said, thankfully we both have family. My husband has family here in Gilroy, and I have my parents here. So the thought of having kids isn't as scary. I think that if my parents were still in Egypt, or you know, I think I'd probably have a little bit more anxiety about it. I mean, I still have anxiety about it because of my crazy schedule, right? But I'm thinking there's no way in my lifetime that I could imagine ever stopping music. It's my heartbeat. It's so important. And also I look at it like I want to be the role model for my kid or my kids, where I say, you know what? I have the full-time job and I'm able to work, but I also am pursuing my dream. And I'm also, you know, really adamant about not letting go of the things that give more value to your life, especially if they bring joy at the same time to others. And so I think at some point, maybe find a compromise of, you know, maybe working a little bit less potentially, but continuing my language work, because I really love it. And you know, I think, like I was saying earlier, it just kind of keeps my feet to the ground. And then with music, I think we would just have to become a little bit more selective, even more selective. And the choices that we make, where we play, when we play. And my vision is by the time that we have a child, hopefully we will have been even more established as a band, so that you know, financially there'll be an even greater source of income from music, hopefully. And if we're, you know, able to enter like the festival circuit, then it's all about specific dates and locking out time and about organizing. I do have a lot of friends who are parents who said like, we'll definitely babysit, and you know, but I know they're busy.
You bring the baby to watch you guys singing.
It's true. Several of my friends actually have been bringing their babies since they were in the womb to our shows.
Right?
So it's really special to get to perform for these kids. One of them became my goddaughter even. And she comes to all the shows, and she has a little baby brother on the way too. So and the mom is still coming to all the shows with the babies. So I'm thinking, hey, here's one more. Just
you know, your mom is gonna come and she's gonna take care of the baby while you're singing on stage.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah.
Thank you. That would be the vision. My dream vision would be that you know, we'd be able to have family or friends or somebody really reliable that tours with us or goes, you know, if we're gonna get out of town or state for a show. Obviously, I'd want to travel as a family and you know, hopefully by then have the means to have a tour bus or something where we can live together in that. I mean, that's where my brain goes. It doesn't have
board. Put it on a vision board.
Vision board now.
Yes. I know. I know. And the power of manifesting. I heard that. I loved that bit about manifesting. And
it works. So do it. Do it. Put it all there.
You just have to be precise. Say that again.
Listen to our episode 36 about manifestation.
Yes, listen to all the episodes. 31. Oh my goodness. The moment I get some time off, I just want to spend a day listening to all your podcasts.
Yeah, please do.
I absolutely love the not just the content, but your guys' diverse perspectives. And you both have such different and really valuable experiences in life, with kids, with work, with, you know, your paths in life. And I think that a lot of people relate to what you say, both of you. And I love watching the little snippets on Instagram. I'm like, I can't wait to watch the whole one, you know. So keep doing what you're doing, because we need it, and it connects us all.
Thank you, Gail. Well, I think we have another question. We'll be out of time, so you're going to have to come back. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're so sweet. Anytime. Sorry I talk so much.
No, that's what we're here for. No, want to know about everything. So thank you for coming. Have a good show on Friday. I'm going to be there.
Oh, I can't wait to see you guys there.
Sylvia's going to escape her kids, and she might be there.
Do it.
She'll be in spirit.
I'm going to try. Who knows?
Really?
Well, I could, you know, have my husband watch the kids and just, right?
There you go. We need some mama time, some you time.
Some me time.
Let's talk more about this.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I'll see you on the 20th then at the time.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And you guys who are listening, before you go, listen until the end, because I'm going to also play a song from Grace and the Grit, Words. And can you talk a little bit about that song quickly before we go?
Yeah, it's our title track for the record. So that is definitely my baby. I think I love all the songs on the record, like our kids, you know, but this song is about empathy, and it's about being kind to one another and being mindful of the energies that you put out into the world.
Very good, very appropriate for the times.
Yes.
I hope people relate. Thank you guys. Love
it's
you.
A beautiful song.
Love you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
The things that I meant to say at a time when my spirit laid to rest seemed to be far more trite than I'd ever thought. So I you wrote, but it cost me too much time and far too much pain. But I could have never known it all. Oh, but I will continue to try. A man's value isn't based on what he has, but on the words he does choose. If you tell me the story once again, I may carry on with no doubts, no regrets, and understand all the lines I misheard in my head. But it cost me too much time and far too much pain. But I could have never known it all. Oh, but I will continue to try. A woman's value isn't based on what she has, no, but on the words she does choose. As I wait for you here, I cannot gauge your tears. Is this hope I might be seeing in your eyes? Is this pain lingering from your smile? Forever I had this melody in my mind. Forever I fought all of the wrong fights. For a while now, I've been thinking about the words that I could choose to say. Just what these notes have helped me never lose. But it cost me too much time